Welcome to the CincyMLS Orientation and Rules Compliance Overview. Our objective with this overview is to save you time and money by providing an understanding of common MLS rules and how and why these rules serve all subscribers. You are encouraged to read the rules and regulations in its entirety. The Multiple Listing Service of Greater Cincinnati, or CincyMLS, is a subsidiary of the Cincinnati Area Board of Realtors, or CABR. CincyMLS primarily provides service to the members of these local associations and boards: Cincinnati, Butler-Warren, Clinton County, Highland County, Southern Ohio. The CincyMLS is not the same as an association or board of realtors. CincyMLS provides Rapatoni as the common database and additional complementary tools, while associations and boards of realtors are responsible for professional standards, code of ethics, RPAC, events, and continuing education. The Multiple Listing Service is a professional cooperative between member brokers and appraisers to enhance and facilitate cooperation and compensation, or to engage in the appraisal of real estate. While the MLS is probably the most powerful marketing tool a realtor has, that is not its primary purpose. The purpose of the CincyMLS is to provide cooperation and compensation to other participating brokers, agents, and appraisers. CincyMLS membership should enhance cooperation, accumulate information for purposes of evaluating and appraising real estate, and encourage high standards of ethics and business practices. It creates the rules by which all members play. Local service areas include not only Brown, Butler, Clermont, Clinton, Hamilton, Highland, and Warren counties, but over 25 counties in Ohio and Indiana. CincyMLS offers a variety of complementary tools to assist its members, including CoreLogic, Showing Time, RPR, Rapatoni MLS, HomeSnap, Supra, Relist. There are many terms and acronyms used with CincyMLS. A few that will be used often are: the participant is the principal broker or appraiser. A subscriber is a licensed user. Users refer to non-licensed personnel. Business days are Monday through Friday, except Ohio and federal holidays. CDOM, or cumulative days on market, is the total length of time a property is on the market, whether pursuant to a single listing agreement or multiple listing agreements, until the property is sold. If the property is withdrawn or canceled for 31 days or more, the CDOM will reset to 0. DOM, or days on market, is the length of time a property is on the market pursuant to a single listing agreement. CAGIS, or Cincinnati Area Geographical Information System, is the government-managed mapping site providing land, zoning, infrastructure, and tax information. SIC, or Suburb Identification Code, is the tax district or verified area as indicated by CAGIS or the appropriate auditor's office. IDX, or Internet Date Exchange, also known as broker reciprocity, is a broker-to-broker cooperative for the display of active and pending listings pursuant to the broker reciprocity rules. Upon special request by the participant, broker reciprocity subscribers may receive and display up to 3 years of sold listing data. As an agent, you are a subscriber of the Multiple Listing Service, and the principal broker or appraiser is the participant. If the participant is not a member of the CincyMLS, none of its licensees may be a part of the CincyMLS. If the participant's primary MLS is CincyMLS, all of its licensees must be subscribers of CincyMLS. The participant is ultimately responsible to ensure payment of dues and fees, rules enforcement and compliance, and the actions, compliance, and listings of its licensees. CincyMLS is a member-only organization. Access to the MLS is restricted to only those who are registered and in good standing. Sharing your logon is strictly prohibited. Violations are subject to fines, suspension, or expulsion. Listings have to be under one of the following types of contractual agreements to be eligible for inclusion in the MLS. Exclusive right to sell, under which the listing broker becomes the agent of the seller, and the seller agrees to pay commission to the listing broker regardless of whether the property is sold through the efforts of the listing broker or someone else. Exclusive agency, under which the listing broker becomes the agent of the seller, and the seller agrees to pay a commission to the listing broker if the property is sold through the efforts of the listing broker or any cooperating broker. The following property types may be included in CincyMLS: residential, multifamily, commercial, land, property for lease or rent. In filing a listing with MLS, the broker is making blanket unilateral offers of cooperation and must specify the compensation being offered to other cooperating brokers. If the compensation is subject to conditions, the listing is ineligible for MLS and shall be removed. Our real estate professionals deserve accurate and up-to-date information in the MLS database. If the information contained in MLS is inaccurate, the reputation and professionalism of the member who might pass on bad data is at stake. CincyMLS subscribers rely on accurate information in MLS to make sound decisions about their real estate business. CincyMLS does not want to issue fines and is working to maintain the integrity of the information available to its subscribers and users. Thousands of phone calls and emails are initiated monthly by CincyMLS staff to help its members correct violations and avoid fines. Although all MLS rules and regulations need to be adhered to, there are a few violations that are more common. Entering a listing and submitting the completed paperwork to list or withhold within 3 business days. Adding a primary exterior photo within 5 business days. Changing the status of the listing and submitting the required completed paperwork within 3 business days. Updating the estimated selling date. Closing the property when sold with correct and complete selling information within 7 business days. Misuse of the remarks and other free-form input fields. Use and display of the MLS listing data. All listings must be entered in the MLS unless the seller has given written authorization for the listing to be withheld. A new listing must be entered into MLS within 3 business days of the listing date unless the listing is to be withheld. Written authorization must be submitted to CincyMLS within 3 business days of the listing date. A copy of the one-page validation form, exclusive right to sell, or exclusive agency must be submitted to CincyMLS within 3 business days of the listing date. An exterior photo of the structure as the primary photo must be entered within 5 business days. For listings of unimproved land or vacant lots, a sketch, photo of the land, or a diagram of lot dimensions may be used. The photos used in MLS must be of the actual structure and its interior. Changes to the status, listing price, or expiration date must be submitted in writing, signed by both seller and agent within 3 business days. These changes include a change to the list price or expiration date in the original agreement. Any authorization to change the expiration date must include an actual expiration date, as opposed to a period of time. A conditional withdrawal, under which the agreement is still valid, but the property is not being actively marketed in the MLS. A listing in the withdrawn status may be returned to active with the authorization from the seller. Cancellation of the agreement, meaning the listing is canceled without stipulation. Paperwork must also include the broker's signature. Failure to comply is finable at $100 for each violation. A listing must have its status changed to pending within 3 business days under the following conditions. A purchase agreement has been signed, dated by, and delivered to all parties. The seller has indicated that an offer has been accepted and is no longer accepting offers or bids. The property may or may not be available for showings. A short sale is considered a third-party contingency, like an inspection, and must be changed to pending once the seller agrees to the purchase contract. However, if the short sale addendum is used and signed by both the seller and the buyer, the property may remain in the active status. No paperwork is required by CincyMLS for the pending status. Failure to comply is finable at $100. The estimated selling date cannot be 30 days past due, as it represents a reasonable estimate of the date the property is expected to close. Updating the estimated selling date is the responsibility of the listing agent or office and requires no paperwork. Failure to comply is finable at $50. Once the property has closed, the status must be updated to sold in MLS within 7 business days with the correct selling information. No supporting documentation is required. Failure to comply is finable at $100. Company emblems, logos, or any other self-promotion is prohibited in photos, virtual tours, any MLS publication, or any free-form input field except agent remarks. Self-promotion includes email addresses, web addresses, phone numbers, as well as call listing agent, seller, listing office, builder, etc. Failure to comply is finable at $100. The participant, when submitting images to the MLS copied from another listing or a third party, is representing that the participant and its licensees have the right to authorize CincyMLS to publish these images wherever MLS data is intended to appear. Images that are not owned by the participant or its licensees, where permission has not been acquired, are in violation and will be removed. Failure to comply is finable at $100. All appointments for showings shall be conducted through the listing broker, except when the listing broker gives cooperating brokers specific authority to show and/or negotiate directly with the seller, as stated in the agent remarks of the listing, or when the seller has stipulated otherwise in writing in the listing agreement and such stipulation also appears in MLS. The Supra system notifies of access immediately, allowing unauthorized access to be easily identified and documented. Unauthorized access includes entering a property outside of the scheduled date and/or time, entering a property without prior authorization, removing keys from a key box without prior authorization, entering a vacant property without prior authorization. Unauthorized property access is a serious violation of CincyMLS rules and could result in fines of up to $15,000 and/or suspension or expulsion from CincyMLS. Active listings in the MLS must be available for showings and offer submission. If a property is not available for showings, the listing must be temporarily withheld from MLS by selecting 2A on the validation form. CincyMLS members and users may acquire the membership information and email addresses of each MLS user who allows their data to be exported. Any MLS information or email addresses compiled from the MLS is considered CincyMLS property and is considered confidential. Membership information and email addresses from MLS shall be strictly limited to the following uses: MLS user identification and contact related to Duty Desk, showing appointments, roster software, the limited distribution of real estate information not permitted in the MLS. Any other use of this information must be approved in writing by CincyMLS. Most members already receive numerous emails from clients, coworkers, affiliations, and more. Adding numerous mass emails from peers may cause an important correspondence to be missed. Any form of mass email distribution using exported MLS information by any participant, its agents, appraisers, employees, consultants, affiliates, or vendors is strictly prohibited. Federal law requires that any email sent from a distribution list must include the ability for the recipient to unsubscribe. Failure to comply could result in monetary fines and a violation of federal law. If a possible CincyMLS rules violation is found by a member, they can request that it be investigated. All complaints must be submitted in writing to assure comprehensive information. The Rules and Regulations complaint form is available on CincyMLS. The complaint will be investigated and resolved. However, the results of the investigation will not be disclosed to the complainant to maintain confidentiality of all parties. The CincyMLS dues are billed semi-annually and are due on April 1st and October 1st. All dues invoices are sent via email. A valid email address is required by all participants and subscribers. Dues payments not received on or before the due date will be assessed a $20 late fee. Should dues and late fee not be received in full within 14 calendar days of the original due date, the subscriber will be suspended and an additional $20 reactivation fee will be required. Suspended subscribers must pay all outstanding fees, including the reconnection fee, within 14 calendar days. Failure to do so will result in a suspension of the office, including all subscribers and users. Subscribers whose primary MLS is Dayton MLS or Columbus MLS, or who are licensed in Indiana but not Ohio, are not required to be a part of CincyMLS. Those subscribers may cancel at any time with written notification. CincyMLS offers classroom computer training for Rapatoni MLS and relist at no charge. Subscribers may register online at www.cabr.org. Gearing up for Rapatoni and If You Can't Compute, You Can't Compete, the beginning class is designed to guide users and subscribers through setting up and using their computer, as well as basic Rapatoni MLS use. The intermediate, Introducing Rapatoni explores uses of Rapatoni MLS basics such as searches, prospects, hot sheets, and mapping. Extreme Rapatoni is the advanced class. It is a more in-depth look of additional Rapatoni features such as comparables, statistics, financial functions, managing photos, and more. Relist 2 is an introduction to Relist, including searches, mapping, reports, comparables, and neighborhoods. The Administrator class, Managing Rapatoni MLS, is a clerical overview of listing entry, maintenance, mapping, and photos. This class is ideal for unlicensed and licensed administrators. Subscribers have access to many online tutorials and webinars for the other tools available. The links for these are available at CincyMLS.net. MLS users and subscribers must now pass a short test with an 85% or better to continue their use of CincyMLS. Instructions and test link can be found in the email sent by CincyMLS membership that also included logon information. Test results should be emailed to membership@cincymls.com or faxed to 513-761-8860. Thank you for your time. Please don't hesitate to call CincyMLS staff with any questions at 513-761-8833.